Well, today we're going to see what a little yogurt does to us. That used to be what I would eat every day before work. And, I think it really just kind of fucked up my whole day. So, let's see what it does. So, we'll eat the yogurt, we'll wait 2 hours, and we'll do a little test. Put a little pre-test here. We're still taking about 2 metformins a night. Quit taking our Prevstat. Probably shouldn't have did that, but wow, 80. I haven't really been paying a lot of attention, but yeah, that's pretty low for me. For 7 o'clock. I don't know. I haven't seen 80 in a long time. Let's see what happens on an empty stomach. Man. Oh, I never eat yogurt anymore because of the sugar. So that's not too bad. 16 grams of sugar, 9 grams of added. It's a lot better than smaller stuff. I used to eat one of these every day before work and a banana before I knew I had diabetes. What are we at? 19 grams of sugars and 13 grams of added sugars. 5 grams of protein. Oh, it's been so long. Man. Alright, well, we took our little test. So we're gonna wait about 2 hours to see how it affected us. Meanwhile, maybe we'll just ramble on a little bit. Why not? So a little about me. So for me, at a very young age, my license was suspended, so I would always walk to work every day, walk home, or catch the bus, or walk to the bus stop, or whatnot. And then I always did warehouse work, and jumping on and off forklifts all day, every day, pulling orders, dragging pallets behind me, stacking them, and fucking just towing them around the warehouse all day. Did a lot of cherry picking work where I just sit on a forklift all day with my foot on the damn pedal, and after 12 years of suspended and 20 years of warehouse work and all that, every day, and I'd wake up every morning, I was just in just all kinds of, just some awful foot pain all the time. A lot of fucking foot pain. So every morning I would get up for work, I'd set my alarm an hour, an hour and 20 minutes before I had to, leave. And that was because, every morning I would have to have an hour shower because I was just be in so much foot pain, and my fucking head would hurt and all this shit, and I'd just feel like shit every fucking day. So I'd get in the shower and I'd be so fucking burnt out that, I would sit down in the fucking shower and just let it hit me on the fucking head, and just half the time I would sit there and just crank it as hard as I could, and I would just sit there and fucking hold my feet up in the air, up to the fucking shower, and just let it beat down on my feet, because I was, that was really the only thing that would make my feet feel a little better, was to do that. But I think for a long time I had undiagnosed diabetes, and I was confusing just regular foot pain with what was actually neuropathy, being brought on by the diabetes. So, I'd be sitting in the shower every morning just cooking my fucking feet, and not realizing that my feet were just numb from the neuropathy. And I'd go to work every day, and then my fucking, I'd be in fucking pain by the end of the day. And every morning before I'd go to work, I would eat the same thing, which is a banana and a yogurt, thinking, I'm eating healthy, I'm doing great, I feel like shit, but, as long as I eat good every fucking morning, I eat a good banana, eat a good yogurt every morning, I'll be doing just fine. But no, I know now that fucking yogurt and fucking banana is probably the worst fucking thing you could eat on an empty stomach. Because that's a lot of fucking sugar. I did a test before where I ate a banana. I did a show about a banana I ate before, and I think I was up in over in the 200s off one banana. You know, the fun thing about diabetes before you're actually diagnosed is, you could eat certain foods and it'll just skyrocket you up there, and then and you could be up there for a day or two, and then the next day you're eating a little better. You're eating high protein, little sugar type stuff, and you go back down, and you could stuff like that's not going to show up on your A1C right away, right? Unless you're constantly going up and down, because your A1C works. Your blood gets replenished every 90 days. So if you're eating good, if it's affecting you one day because you're eating something one day, but you have no idea, and the next day you're eating healthy, your A1C might stay a little low, and you might not have any idea that, of course, until you're fucking, way up in there. Because unless you're checking yourself, if you feel like shit, if you're constantly feeling like shit, start testing yourself. Even if the doctor tells you don't have diabetes, there could be certain stuff that's really affecting you when you're not understanding it, and it's just give you a shit fucking attitude at work. Your fucking feet will fucking be extra sore because when your body's constantly fighting off that sugar, it's not repairing the damage you do to your feet every day, because it's really hard for your blood to get down to your feet, and diabetes is a motherfucker on your feet. A lot of your foot pain could be caused by the sugar, and you just don't even have a clue. When your body spends all its energy fighting off sugar, your feet are the last thing that gets taken care of. So if you're dealing with a lot of foot pain, all the time, and you've noticed that you just always got a bad attitude at work, maybe it's not your work, and maybe it's not your fucking coworkers just pissing you off. Maybe it's the Mountain Dew you're having at lunch. For a long time I didn't realize that it was the fucking Red Bulls or the Rock Stars and all that shit pissing me off, and it wasn't really just the coworkers. I understand now, but probably would have saved us quite a few friendships in the workplace. Fuck them though. But anyways, we're about a half hour in. We got another hour and a half we're gonna wait. And, we got some healthy meatballs we're gonna eat afterwards, but we'll get our test done in about 2 hours and really see what that little bit of yogurt did to us. Well, it's been 2 hours since our little yogurt feast. Little late lunch. 7 o'clock, it's 9 o'clock now. We're ready for dinner. But let's see where we're at. Just remember, man, it never hurts to test. You could get one of these for $50 at Walmart. It never hurts, even if you don't have diabetes. If you question why you have certain attitudes, or maybe your feet hurt all the time, never hurts to test. 1:30, 2 hours later. It's not too bad. A little higher than 80, but that's still not too bad. So we're doing pretty good. So shoot, maybe I'll eat yogurt a little more often. It'll probably catch up to me sooner or later if I do, though. On our last show, which was way back in February or something like that, we had a little predicament saying that our A1C would be a little higher than it should, and the doctor would tell us to up our metformin or whatever, get back to what I'm supposed to be taking, because I was taking a little less than I should have been. But my appointment came, and then kind of like the shortage, all the unvaccinated people got fired, and so every place in the world is just short on people now. So my appointment ended up getting skipped a whole month. So that's why we ended up not doing that show, just to prove where our blood sugar was. But I finally went in a month later, and I got my test done, and the doctor said, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it, because you're doing great. And I was 6.1 still, so yeah. So I guess the show speaks for itself.